Fading away right there is a song by Danny Gill. Song is called Asante. Alafu hapo hivyo mbele it's a remix. Ya Masi Masika song is called Mwema. It's a reggae version. Let me tell you, a big shout out to everyone who's giving us all the feedback that we can. Watani send a special shout out to mtu wa nguvu sana anaitwa DJ Soxy. Anasema reggae safi sana bro. Soxy mazebarikiwa sana. Salute to you ukiwa mahali huko man. Sijui kama kuna watu wengine wako hapa, lakini before I go to that, venye umesikia kutoka wa QT akona yani the cast ya Makeri. Hata tuende kwake kwanza atuambie about that particular play and where it's going to be happening and all the details that you need to know about it. So over to you, QT, pokea.
Yo, wagwan, DJ Gigi ameamua leo tuokoke wadau. It's the last Friday of the month and I hope inakubamba ukiwapo mtaani. Ama place yote yenye uko mtu wangu, uko ofisini, uko wapi, unacheki Citizen TV. Leo niko na Mbogi ya Power tena sana. Wao wananiita Gyalchal QT aka the Manchester United representative. But leo tuongelelei mambo ya football tafadhali. Leo tunaongelea mambo ya play. Yani kuna play moto mtu wangu. Wangu wa Makeri. Wangu Wa Makeri is one of the most controversial women that ever lived to be, manze. She died at the age of 80, and this woman ali beat all the odds to become a headman. Walikuwa wanaita headman hiyo time, I think. Yeah. Headman, yeah. She was a headman. And I'm telling you, hizo enzi, when the British were here, no woman was allowed to rule, my people. But she did. She ruled. She later resigned because of a controversy. She got into a controversy. Ali dance. Dance yenye wanaume peke yake ndio walikuwa na dance. Kukakuwa na mambo mingi. Hey. Lakini huyu Galdem, acha tu nimuite Galdem. She's one of the greatest that has ever lived, yani I'm so in love with this play because for me, unajua tuko hata sisi tuko in a industry where it's male dominated and you have to fight for your space. So Wangu Wa Makeri is one of the people that ukimcheki hivi, when you look at her history, you know that you have to fight for yourself in this. Yani alikuja na akatawala na akasonga vile inafaa kukua, akafanya mambo yake, au sio? Hiyo play actually itakuwa 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Yani itakuwa Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Kama hujapata tiko yako, umechelewa. But Mbogi iko hapa, by the way, tuko na cast. Lakini wangu mumemwacha wapi? Wangu Wa Makeri yako wapi?
Baadaye alikuwa kuje.
Alikuwa kuje.
Lakini I think mtapatana baadaye.
Tutakuwa naye baadaye pale kwenye Wax Tikitaka on Radio Citizen. Atakuwa na come up from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. But yes, I have the beautiful Gadhoni. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Tunajuana na huyu Galdem, by the way. Good to see you. Uko aje mama?
Niko fiti.
Umekuwa fiti?
Kabisa.
I see life is doing you good.
Life is good.
Kama uko hapa kwa Wangu Wa Makeri mambo iko sawa.
Lazima to represent.
Lawrence, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Uko fiti kabisa?
Kabisa.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Mko kwa cast ya Wangu Wa Makeri.
He's actually the director.
You, oh my goodness. Yes. Lawrence, wait a minute. I think we have the right person here.
Yes.
Lawrence,
yes.
What are you thinking? What's going on in your mind talking about Wangu Wa Makeri? You know, this is a very strong play, yeah?
It is.
And bringing out this lady. Sasa sisi tumuone. Unajua, we've read the story, we know the history, but now umekaa chini, you've decided, let's do this, let's bring it out. Please talk about the play.
Yes.
How you thought about it, how you chose the cast, everything about it. Alafu later on tutamalizia, utatuambia kwanza tiko zinaenda for how much.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So I'd say Wangu Wa Makeri is an idea, is a show that I've wanted to tell for a while, pre-COVID. Yeah. And then COVID happened, and then tukasema, we'll still do this play. And then now the right time came. And this is now, sometime last year is when we started, we restarted that conversation. And the reason I wanted to do this play is, you've summed it well. She's a phenomenal woman.
Yes, she is.
And people do not know her. People do not know her story. Yeah. And I wanted to tell it because of my own reasons, because I loved the story. I loved her. I love her character. I am a writer and I'm fascinated by characters who are well-rounded. Wangu was an imperfect, perfect character. Yeah. So she has her flaws, she has her strengths, and she lives through them. Yeah. Akiwa meka kifua mbele. So I was like, this is a perfect character that I would want to do a play on. Now, when we got to us doing it,
realization ikadon that we are part of history, we are doing something massive.
This is massive. This is big, Lawrence. This is really big.
Yeah, so realization.
The pressure is real.
It is worse. It is getting worse. But we have a fantastic team. As we said, our Wangu Wa Makeri is Lydia Gitachu. She's been in the game for more than 25 years.
Yeah.
We have Kina Gadhoni. Gadhoni, it is a musical play, so Gadhoni is handling the musical side of it.
Awesome.
Yeah. We have Marion, we have Marianne, we have a big ensemble. We have Kimiti Wagitao. He's from
Royal Media.
Yes.
So the team is enough, is massive, and the contribution we've been having very interactive sessions at rehearsal, and since day one tumekuwa tukigrow pia sisi. Like we dissect the story, and by the time rehearsal inaisha, we go home having learned or maybe going to read more and to research more about this woman.
I'm really curious to know, okay, yes, you chose your cast, but how did it come down to this? Because, I mean, this is a very big character. You understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, Wangu is a very big character, big personality. But how did it boil down now to this particular person? And then again, the husband, are we going to see everything about, are you, please, why? Actually, I am really banking on you. Are we really going to see every character out of her? Because we really need to know. People don't know the history of, most people don't know, because her story probably is just overlooked. But are we going to see everything? The emotions, the tears, the joy, the happiness, are we going to see everything?
We are going to see a lot. We are going to see most of it.
Most of it.
We, of course, we have chosen what we want to show and what we want to tell. But we are going to tell a side of her that maybe is not that well. People only know her because, well, she became a headman and she used to sit on the backs of men. Yeah, that is the story that is out there. So we are going to dissect more into that and see different spheres of her life, her family, the husband, the other wives, and her ruling.
True. Yeah. I can't wait to watch it, by the way. This is really going to be amazing.
You should come.
Yeah, I will. Sony will definitely hook me up with the tickets. And Gadhoni, let's talk about now the musical aspect. How does that come into a play? Because people are just maybe used to a certain thing, you know, a certain setup. But now talk about the musical aspect of it, how you're coming in, how it's going to fit in this play.
Okay. So we're part of a production called Kwandego Production. And the productions we've had before have been musicals. And why this one is special is because it's a story of our people. And the way information used to be passed back then was through songs, through dance, through proverbs, sayings. So I feel now it makes more sense now to have the music in the shows, and also to tell the story of the kind of songs that were sung back then, because we're having more of, you know, when you say Kikuyu songs, people think Mugithi, but now we're going uko nyuma, way back, because the setting is 1902. So we're going uko kwa folk songs.
What? So we are really going to see the real tradition.
Yes, kwa root kabisa.
Pale kwa root kabisa.
Kwa root kabisa.
And Lawrence, how long have you been in the game? Maybe you can tell us. And can you really say that this is going to be your biggest show? Because for me, I feel like I'm really interested in this. I'm not, okay, it's not that I don't go for the plays, but I feel like this is one play that I've already invested in. Do you feel like this is going to be one of your biggest works?
Yes.
And also you can talk about maybe, utairate wapi? Hata before you happen, where you rate?
Iko pale juu. Iko pale
10 over 10?
Yes, 10 over 10. For all the projects that I've done, this is one that, this has been blood and tears. It's been, when realization set in that we are being part of history. We are telling a story. First, this story has not been told, and we realized, let us archive this story for future generations, for ourselves. When we were doing research, we called our friends. Part of our team, do you know Wangu Wa Makeri?
Yeah.
And people just know the name because maybe they've heard it in school, but they think, this one fought for independence.
Yeah, she was in Mau Mau.
She was pre-colonial. She was before. She was there when the white man was settling in. I mean, they were settling in 1902, and that's when she became a headman.
1902. You're talking about 1902.
1902. So this is us telling. This is us retelling, or rather archiving our stories. So for me, this is a very important story. This is easily will remain to be one of my best shows, one of the best that I will ever do. Of course, more will come, but for now,
It may take how long to sit down and actually do this? I know you've said pre-COVID, but really, like, you know, now
the actualization. It's been around 2 months. We started off sometime last month. We went down to Murang'a. You know, Wangu Wa Makeri actually lived in a place. Unajua watu wanadhaningi ni like ni tales, ni folk tales.
It's a true story.
It's a true story. She used to live, or rather she used to rule at Koimbe with Aga Murang'a.
Yes.
So we went to that place. We saw her office. It's still there, still stands. It is now a children's home, but they've made sure that it is in its natural, original form. The office, the cell, we spoke to family members, we spoke to people who maybe not directly got to experience her rule, but were there by the time she was passing away in 1930s. So it's been we've put in everything. We've researched, we've gone to every material, we've looked for every material that has her story, and talked to family members. It's been a process of 2 months.
True that. And the reason why I'm so interested in this, as I mentioned earlier, is because, you know, I'm a woman. I mean, we have to talk about this, Manzi. Omongele story of 1902. This is no lady was allowed first to do the dance that she did, the Kabata dance, and no lady was allowed to actually rule during but she did.
It was headman. It is made not for women, it is made for
It is in the name.
And actually what people don't know is that the husband was the one who was offered the job. He refused, and then they were like, okay, now let's do this. And someone saw something in her, definitely, and decided to bring her in. Now let's talk about the tickets. This is happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So talk about itakuwa hiyo Friday, Saturday, Sunday, same play. And at the Kenya National Theatre, right?
Kenya National Theatre,
so tell us about the tickets, how we are getting the tickets, how many people are going to be there, like mtahost watu wangapi in one auditorium on that particular day?
So the tickets are on viewtickets.com. I'm a star for 87 star 32 hash, which still leads to view tickets in USSD view tickets. And so important to note, we have the show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday's show is already sold out. So
it is.
Do not even think about it.
Lawrence, you have to get it Friday.
Muthoni will be. Muthoni atakusort. So Friday is sold out. Friday 7 p.m. Saturday we have a 3 p.m. and a 7 p.m. show. The 7 p.m. show is sold out. Yes, so we have tickets open for the 3 p.m. show. Yes, viewtickets.com star 487 star 32 hash. The tickets are going at 1,500 early bird and advance at 2,000 shillings. On Sunday we also have a 7 p.m. show. Hiyo iko somewhere in the ranges of 80% sold out. So kimbia.
Watu wachangamke.
And I think it's important to note the dates.
Yeah, the dates.
It's second, Friday the 2nd, third Saturday, and 4th. Yeah,
Yes.
4th of May next
So
week.
it's a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
So hapa nacheki, wacha tu tuambie watu vizuri, mali watu wanaget tickets, hapo ni viewtickets.com.
Yep.
And then you can dial *487 as *32#, right?
Yes.
*487 *32#. Gadoni,
Yeah.
what does this mean what does this play mean to you? I'm really curious to know what it means.
First of all, as a woman, I think it is a very important story to tell because even as Lauren said, we did a lot of research and we found that we don't have enough information about this woman. And I think it's because even her story, the write-ups that are there and the documentation was done by men.
Yeah.
So it is a very important story for us as women because even now we have seen women in leadership and how not easy it is for people to like, you know, get into leadership positions without people really focusing on the other things that are not really connected to, you know,
to her story.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful representation and it's a good way to preserve history.
Yeah. And I feel like people really dwell on the negative aspect of Wangu Wa Makeri, but I feel like this play is gonna bring out the beauty of this phenomenal woman.
The beauty of imperfection.
Yeah,
the beauty of just being human, simply because
she was human at the
she
end of
was
the day.
human, and then she was ruling at a time when it was not fit for a woman to rule. So
it was just her. Everyone else was a man.
Yes,
so
learning the strings as she goes.
And you can just imagine, like you're in a, okay, hata hapa tu tuko una get, but you can imagine what I'm talking about. Sisi tu, she went through the odds. She's a phenomenal woman, and I can tell you for free that you're gonna enjoy this play. I cannot wait. Yani niko so excited. Umesema blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, and everything in between.
Inayo ni yenyewe. Au sio? Good stuff you're doing, you guys.
Asante sana.
And you can just remind people where they're getting the tickets. Cheki. In time yako ya kuchocha
sasa. Tickets ziko hapo viewtickets.com. Viewtickets.com. Ama the easiest way ni USSD ya View Tickets *487 *32#. Unachagua if you want to come on Sunday or Saturday 3 p.m. Hizo ndio zimebaki.
So Saturday 3 p.m.
Saturday 3 p.m.
Sunday 7 p.m.
Na Sunday 7 p.m. Hizo ndio zimebaki so far.
Kabla muone stamp ya sold out tena ya Sunday.
Nishaona sold out ya
sold out ya Friday 7 na Saturday 7. Ziko sold out, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing, guys.
Karibuni sana. Let's see this story. Let's see this beauty, yeah.
And maybe you can just big up your crew, your whole crew. It's very important to big up maybe from the producer, from the cast, to anyone that you might want to, before we wrap up the show.
Yes, so I hope nitawakumbuka. We have a crew of over 30 people. So
Agathoni will help.
Yeah, atanisaidia.
Yes.
So our producer, of course, Rose Njeri Mwanamwede, our production manager, Marianne Nyabura. We have Akina Kimiti Wagetao, Nelex, Matere James, SP Shege. We have kwa ladies tuko na Wagu herself, that is Lydia Gitachu Nyambura. We have Marion Wabo, anakuanga, what is that show? Okay, I forget. We have Phyllis Mbuthia, we have Josephine, of course we have Gadoni here, who is also in charge of music. Tuko na nani mwingine?
Tuko na Shingoge.
Shingoge, our able stage manager.
Folk Fusion kwenye wimbo, but a big shout out to those guys.
Folk Fusion,
hiyo ni department yangu, siwezi sahau.
Great boys who are singing emergency but wanaimba folk music.
I love that you've incorporated even the Gen Z.
Yes, na dancers wetu Hype House, Gen Z to the fullest. Like how the Gen Z. So it is a collection of
all generations.
All generations. I mean, Lydia has acted for over 25 years.
Yes, experience. Experience.
Akoko the same cast na mtu wa 20 years. Like she started acting before some of these people were born. Yeah, so it's a collection of all these great minds na pia tuna incorporate music, dance, acting, all in one to tell the story. Storytelling, yes.
Awesome stuff. Ndio. Tuko sawa wadau, mmeshasikia penye mnapata tickets zenyu, viewtickets.com *487*32# mtu wangu. Sawa. Isio design, twende pale tuchukue matiko tufanye mambo vile inafaa. Alafu I'll have the pleasure of hosting Wangu herself. Wacha tu nimuite Wangu Wa Makeri herself. Tukitoka hapa tunaenda at 10 AM on Wax Tikitaka pale Radio Citizen Radio #1. Twende pale sasa to meet the cast herself, atatupatia hizo stories zingine au sio? Noma tena sana. Mko sawa? Kabisa. Wacha sasa turudi kwa muziki, tupandishe mzuka hapo na DJ Gigi. Follow me on all my social media pages zote QT Lady Njosh. Gigi, si turudishe sasa nini? Kanisani tafadhali.